Are we united? Are we standing together? Yeah! We are out here today sending a signal to United Airlines that we will do whatever it takes. Yeah! These guys have stolen your pensions, bankrupted your ESOP, and outsourced your work, and enough is enough! There's action being held in Orlando and in Houston, and we are all united across the country to take a stand against this company and demand an industry-leading content. You guys keep the flying public safe, and we will fight for you guys to the end. Are we ready to fight? Yeah! Ready to fight! Yeah!
No contract, no peace.
You know, the workers came from all over the base to support in solidarity what we're striving to do, and that's get an industry-leading contract. Great support.
The management in United knows that a lot of people are angry here. Why are they still taking a hard line?
Well, we're going to be meeting with them in a few weeks, and we'll see if they finally figured things out.
Now, they made the flight attendants also face the same issues. The flight attendants also face the same issues. It seems like they have a hard line against all the workers here at United.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what you said.
They have a hard line against all the workers at United.
United Airlines is your typical U.S. corporation that's got more money than they know what to do with it, and we're going to get an industry-leading contract. They got to do the right thing.
And
not only for the workers at United, but the workers in the United States. Tiered wages are bullshit.
how would that destroy the union?
Well, when you have mechanics working side by side, where one is up here and the other one's way down here, that's ridiculous, and that does not make a cohesive workforce. And quite frankly, in a labor union, you look out for one another, and that's what we need to do. The company, it's a lot more than the B scale. It has to do with health and welfare, getting decent benefits, decent pension, decent wages, and job security. My name is Clancy Griswold. I'm the chief negotiator for the International Brotherhood of Teamsters at United Airlines, and I hope you can hear me.
Contract, no peace! No contract, no peace! My name's Vanessa D'Ambrosio. We voted no on this contract. For 5 years we've been waiting, and everything else in the world has gone up, and now my rent, my PG&E, my water bill keeps going up, but our wages have been stagnant, and we come out here and we fight this war, and we go to make aircraft and aviation and your flying experience as safe as possible, and we're struggling just to make ends meet here in the Bay Area. We add value to what we produce out here, and it's time that we start getting rewarded for that value. It's what we've earned. And to sit here and go on and just keep us waiting, no, that's not right. It's dehumanizing, and we're better than that.
Well, how do you live in the Bay Area with the cost of living?
We are struggling. We are struggling to get through. I have to work overtime. I don't even have time for myself. But that's just the way it is. And it's not just me. It's all workers are going through this. If you're not in tech or you're not a CEO, you are screwed as an American. This global economy has done nothing but take the world's abject poverty and put it on the front doorstep of the middle class. And we're sick of it, and we're not taking it anymore.
And they made $3.5 billion in profit last year.
That's what they're reporting. That's what they're reporting, and they did it beside themselves, but we helped them do it. And it's time to start sharing. We are here every day doing what we need to do, and it's time for us to start getting the compensation that we deserve.
You think they're going to respond to this with fair negotiations?
You know what? I have to stay hopeful. I'm in aviation. I like to go and live my dreams and fly high. So I'm really hopeful. If this is what it takes to get the message across, this is what we do.
Are you ready to go on strike?
I am ready to go on strike. Bring it. I save my money. What little I get, I save. I don't live lavishly, but I do what I got to do.
How long? What kind of work do you do?
I'm an aircraft mechanic for the last 38 years. Yeah, I think I know this game.
Marlon Hermitano. We're trying to stand up for our rights to get fair wages. Great. It's about time we show our solidarity.
What are the issues that concern you about the contract?
Our medical.
What's going on with the medical?
They're trying to have us pay more for our medical. We haven't had a raise. And our pension.
How long have you worked for United?
30 years.
Catherine Kachu, Casey. I'm out here because we've been negotiating for 3 years. We need our work to stay in this country and not be sent overseas. We need to have decent benefits for all of the people that work here and not have new people coming in with low wages and never making equity. We want the best and the brightest working on airplanes for safety.
And they made $3.5 billion profit last year.
Oh yeah, easy.
Why are they trying to take away from you?
Well, you know, they were saying when the times are hard, we need you to sacrifice. Well, now share the wealth.
What do you do at United?
I'm an aircraft mechanic.
How long? How long have you been working?
20 years.
You like it?
I love it. I love working on airplanes. I love it. But we need to improve the industry.
Yeah, 3 years negotiating and still nothing. We are no closer than when we began 3 years ago. I am on the negotiating committee for United. And 3 years and we're not one step closer. The company has made record profits. The only reason why this proposal that they offered us that was shot down by 93%, the only reason why they had the wages there is because Delta raised the bar. If anyone we should thank, it's Delta for doing the right thing. Delta CEO has brought in billions of dollars and they have showed their gratefulness by giving it back to the employees. And that's the only reason United Airlines offered us wages equivalent to Delta. But they took everything else away from it. They gave us the money and took every other thing that we had away. Healthcare, pension, retirement, medical, every single thing.
Are you trying to catch up? I mean, airline workers have lost a lot of money, concessions, give-backs, pensions.
Oh yeah, look, United. I'm a United mechanic. We have had no pension since '03. We're 13 years and counting without one penny putting in our pension.
This is not concessionary. The company's making money. Treat us with dignity and respect.
I hired in the middle 80s. In 81, the industry brought on the B scale. Now United Airlines is making $1 to $2 billion a quarter, wants to introduce a C scale. So they want to take our children, your children, and they want to subject them to an even lower wage that will never reach or be equivalent to ours in pay, in pension, in medical, in all benefits. And that's the problem. When they're making record profits, and instead of showing any gratefulness, any thankfulness for the job that you do, they want to stab us in the back.
The new hires are the future of our company. Okay, when we're gone, they're going to be here, and we want this company to succeed. Okay, so my son works here. A lot of our families work here. We've been with United Airlines for quite a long time, and we want to be treated again with dignity and respect.
Well, they make so much money. Why don't they do what you want?
Because
30 years I've been employed for United Airlines, and never, ever have they ever given us.
They're just trying to keep their shareholders happy, and they're forgetting about the bread and butter, which is the mechanics. Okay, we saved this company. We sacrificed through ESOP. We lost money. We want to be treated fairly. That's all we want to do is be treated fairly.
Emily. We're here to support the mechanics, and we're here to support the efforts to get a fair contract at a time when there's record profits. Our work group's going through the same thing. My dad was a mechanic here for 38 years, and I was just telling my friends, you know, the numbers are astounding to me. We've never had profits like this. We've never had an airline this size, and yet our union workforce is down to nothing. They've outsourced us until we're a skeleton of what we used to be. And at this point, you know, I really have to question what decisions are being made to keep our airplanes safe. that we're going to keep downsizing and outsourcing with one of the largest air fleet in the country. Our contract, we're still under contract, but we've been promised a merged contract. We're under 2 separate agreements, actually 3 with Continental Micronesia, and we've been promised a merged contract for 5 years now. Nothing's happened. In fact, there have been stalling tactics, delay tactics, and now there's a new independent union that was similar to what was done to decimate our mechanics during AMFA by the same lawyers, Lee Seaham, that suddenly sprung up and is offering themselves as an alternative. The same people who are behind the independent unions are the same people who are behind the deregulation and unaffiliation and the right to work. Deregulation has been huge. I mean, it's done the same thing to the airline industry that it's done to the shipping industry. It's allowed us to be outsourced. It's allowed for very little oversight on some of what was outsourced, from engine blade rebalancing. It really calls into question a lot of safety issues, in my opinion.
So the public should be concerned about this outsourcing?
The public should definitely be concerned about outsourcing. It's not in our best interest to have unregulated foreign contractors working on our airplanes ever. And the workers at United are invested in this airline. We care more about its future than anybody. This was a lifelong career for my dad. It's a lifelong career for me. And we want to ensure that the public is safe. They do. They do.
Airline workers fly against CWA.
We don't. In fact, my husband and I have never been doing better in terms of between his salary and my salary, and we can't afford to live here. You know, luckily he works from home and I commute in, and all of the new hires that I work with as a union volunteer, none of the new hires are able to afford to live in the Bay Area, so they all have to live in crash pads when they're on duty, of 12 to 14 flight attendants to a 1-bedroom apartment. It's pretty dismal.
How do you have a family in a normal life if you have to live in a crash pad as a flight attendant?
It's nearly impossible for any of the new hires. In fact, I would say that you have to wait until you have enough seniority to hold a decent line, because they're trying to make this career a unworkable job for families, for middle-class families. And
doesn't that hurt the airline?
You would think. I think that it's devastating to diminish the middle class at all. We need a middle class so that we have people who can afford these tickets, so that we have strong families.
Now, the ticket prices haven't gone down, even though fuel prices have gone down like 50%. What's going on? Is this a monopoly, or what's happening?
You know, I don't think that I don't know enough to comment on that, but there are a lot of factors that are worth concern in terms of why, if we're making record profits, they haven't gotten to the employees. I mean, I'm not as concerned with the regulation of the cost of tickets. I can understand the need for a free market on price of tickets, but it doesn't seem to be part of the aviation picture of making sure that this is what supports the backbone of the middle-class America.
Well, the executives seem to be doing pretty well.
They do. They do, especially that golden parachute that our last executive had.
What was that?
I believe the golden parachute was valued by one analyst at $28 million. $28 million for committing what is now under federal investigation as collusive behavior.
With Representative ATU 1555 here in the Bay Area, backing up Teamsters for a fair contract here in the Bay Area, where people are struggling hard, to earn a good wage and with good medical benefits. So that's why we're here. We're here to back Teamsters.
And how is it that you can live in the Bay Area with the wages you're making?
It's a struggle. It's a struggle to always do it. It's got to be fair across the board. And right now, the contract that they're offering United Mechanics is not, and it's ridiculous. And all these people realize that. That's why they voted no on that contract. And we're here to back up that statement of no.
Facing the same issue as you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've been in contract negotiations for 3.5 years now. They're not coming to the table for us as well. We're in the same situation, just a couple months behind these guys, and we absolutely support them in their efforts.
Well, they made $3.5 billion last year. Why can't they come up with a contract?
That's the question of the year. Yeah. When you got that answer, let me know. I'm Carolyn Alasia.
And your union has also been without contract?
For 5 years since the merger. Yeah.
Milton Landry. My last pay raise was July 1st of 2011.
Inflation has gone up, prices have gone up. How do you survive?
Rough it. That's how we survive. It's not the cheapest area to live in. I don't think, and our last pay raise wasn't a very high percentage to begin with, but it's been more than 3.5 years since my last pay raise.
My name's Kurt Mueller. I'm tired of the concessions.
Ron Holt.
Retro, non-negotiable. What does that mean?
Oh, the retro? Yeah, if they had a contract when we originally should have gotten it and not have the Railway Labor Act, which keeps us from getting they would have to pay us back to the beginning of the contract. And the Railway Labor Act is an unfair practice where they make it so that we don't get paid until we get our contract. So they have absolutely no reason to negotiate.
It's kind of an incentive to screw you?
I've been here 47 years, and they've been doing the same thing over and over again, except now I think they're even worse.
Now, the Railway Labor Act, is there any opposition to that in Congress, or what do people think? Most people don't know what it means. What does it mean to airline workers?
It means that they get the delay, and it goes to mediators and arbitrators and all that, and it's just a delaying thing that it goes on, usually goes on for 2 or 3 years, and then at the end, in my 47 years, we've been paid retro maybe three times, 4 times, but they have no reason to negotiate fairly with us.
They made $3.5
because they should, because we made that $3.5 billion. Because I had in 1968 to 85, I had a pension, and they took that pension and gave it an annuity. And then they took that money and bought the crown jewels of the airline, which are the Pan Am routes. And because the pension fund was overfunded, they took that money and bought the Pan Am routes. And so when it was overfunded, they took our fucking money. They took our money. And then when it was underfunded, they threw us under the bus. And as far as I can tell, they hid assets about.
What has been the effect of deregulation of the airline industry?
Deregulation is really, for the airline worker, it's been bad, very bad. It has gotten more people in airplanes, more common people in the airplanes, whereas they didn't fly before. But as far as it has caused problems, I believe, with safety and the regulation, and it's caused. It's just been, I don't think it's really worked out like it's everything they said about deregulation has come true. And
now they're trying to institute a 3-tier. What is that all about, these 3 tiers?
What's that all about is in 82, when I was here in 82, they forced a B scale on us. And the only reason we bought it was because American Airlines had a B scale that never merged. I had 14 years, and I still was like on the bottom of the list. Who knew they were going to go out and hire the world? And when they did, they come in with a B scale that had 5 years, but they never told us what how it would be incrementally impacted. So we voted in a B scale. That wasn't too bad because most of us that came to work for the airline were working in service, so we had 3 or 4 years experience. Well, then you had all these people that came right out of school, and they had a 5-year progression, which was okay, but eventually they merged. American Airlines, they had a B-scale system that did not merge. And so we bought it, and now they're coming around, they want another C-scale, which it never merges. They don't get the same benefits that we do. And it's
be a permanent tier.
This is something that's been going on all over America. And it's just that they finally got around, they've been getting around to us. Who are you anyhow?
KPFA Radio.
Oh.
Labor Radio.
Oh, okay. So.
Okay, so non-negotiable. Retro is non-negotiable.
What I'm saying is it's non-negotiable. We want the retro. We want our retro because once they have to give us a retro when a contract ends to the time that they're going to stop playing around because they know they're going to have to pay us. Not only that, the other thing is when they got to pay the retro, when we do get a pay raise, when we do get a pay raise, we know what kind of a pay raise we're getting because we can see what we missed and then what's in the future. And Unitas played us like a fiddle forever. They're artists. They play the violin. Yes, I'm angry too because I'm angry. For me, the only thing that was good for this contract for me was the buyout, but it was bad for people coming on board, and I just couldn't buy it. I just couldn't do it to people because I seen what happened before when you pit people against each other, a B scale. Now you got a C scale where they're pitting each other against each other. And
so you're getting different pay and you're doing the same work.
Yes. So the same thing's happening again. They're against government programs until government programs help them. Walmart wants the government to pay for their medical, but that's an okay program. As a matter of fact, they tell them how to get on a medical. And same thing with the farmers and all that. They don't get paid enough, and they got to go on medical, free medical Medicaid.
Where's Stacy? It says it all right here. I'm a flight attendant for United Airlines. We're here in support of our mechanics because if not us, then who? We all have to stand together. We're all United employees. We all deserve an equal piece of the pie like our execs.
So your contract is out too?
We have been negotiating for a joint contract for the pre-merger Continental flight attendants as well as the pre-merger United flight attendants and Continental Micronesia. 5 years later, it still has not happened. The bottom line is this, right here. Read it, live it, it's the truth.
All we want is dignity and respect. Treat us with respect, give us a contract that means something. Take care of us, we're your mechanics. Take care of us.
The issues because we don't want to farm out any more work to China. We don't like having team care or Verba. We don't want to have a C scale for the new employees. None of it's fair. 3 scales. Right now we're at a B scale. They want to go to a C scale. 10 years progression.
An injury to one's an injury to all. When workers can't get a fair contract, when workers have to fight for 3 years for dignity, for respect, for good pay and good benefits, it affects everybody. So we all have to stand together.
We want a decent contract for the workers. They're trying to take away benefits that we have fought in the past. And I think that's not unfair. We want to have something fair for our families.
Griswold, on behalf of Chris Griswold, Secretary Treasurer 986, want to thank everybody for being here. The solidarity is incredible. We have Denver's here, Chicago's here, Los Angeles is here, Seattle's here.